Yo, yo, yo. It's Up on a Cloud, back with another Mine mod review, or Devil Fruit review. Now, I made a video and I uploaded it, and I had a comment saying that I was on the latest, on an old version of the game. So I have since then, I believe I am on the more up-to-date version. And I tested the Gorogoro no Mi, and it basically has the same exact abilities, just one of them I think is slightly different. So I don't think it's necessary that I make a video on it. For this video, which you may know from the title and from the thumbnail, I am going to be doing the chili no Mi, because I don't know how to pronounce it in Japanese. I am going to be testing out this devil fruit. Now, I did a little bit of a test, but I decided that I didn't really like how that video was working. So I'm going to be attempting it here. Now, what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be getting some Marines. I have some Marines that are, or not Marines, what am I talking about? I have this big chamber right here, so that way I can just constantly, and once again, I forget that I always have it on peaceful to start with. I like how some of them just spawn with default Minecraft swords, and then some just got like an actual modded sword. Wait, what? I grabbed a Marine Trader? Bro! Let's get some captains. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm probably going to do a lot of the testing in creative mode, but if anybody wants to see me do them in survival mode specifically, then I can start testing in survival mode, because I do think that it's probably better to do that, and I need to get some testing because I also want to see the survivability of each devil fruit. And what I'm going to be doing, so before I begin this, I want to just go ahead and clarify, is that I'm going to be reviewing all the Logias first, then I will do Paramecias, and then I'm doing Zoans last. And I'm going to also rate each, like what my favorite devil fruit in each type is. So once I do all the Logias, I will be reviewing, well, I'll just give a ranking on which one that I think is the best Logia. And I'm going to be doing it across different types. So I'm going to be doing it based on survivability. I'm going to be doing it based on versatility, how useful it could be if you did this in a single player series, which I plan on doing a single player series after I do this, all of the devil fruit reviews, because that's also going to help me to know which devil fruit I actually like the most before I end up getting locked into it in a survival game. And once I do all sets, so all the Logias, then all the Paramecias, then all the Zoans, then I will pick my final like favorite, or maybe my final like two favorites. I don't know how many I'm going to have left. But enough of the yapping. 3 minutes worth. Ability number 1, which is Ice Block Partisan. It creates several spears of ice that the user hurls at the enemy. So now, what I'm going to do, we can see that this guy has 19 armor plates and 50 hearts. This dude has 2 armor plates, 20 hearts, and then these dudes got 4 armor plates, 20 hearts. So I'm going to test it on the Marine Trader first, because he's the weakest. I guess my aim is just awful. Regardless, though, it managed to put somebody with 2 armor and 20 hearts to 3 HP. Even though it's rounding, though, because if you look up in the top, it says 2.5. Next, I'm going to test it on these guys. They got 4 armor, 20 hearts. Bro, my aim is bad. It shoots out like really fast. You can't really multi-track anybody. But it managed to do literally the exact same. So next, I'm going to do it on a captain. They have 19 armor and 50 hearts. Ooh, it put ice around them. So if you get the last hit off, you actually encapsulate them in ice. That did, what is that? I'm bad with math. Like 18 hearts, I think. So the same amount of hearts as it does to everybody else. What does he have? Does he actually have that? 31 and basically, I would just say 31 and a half. Doesn't really matter. Next ability, Ice Age. Now, to be honest, I might save Ice Age for kind of last. It's technically the second ability, but it's also a pretty big ability. So I'm going to come back to this one. So Ice Ball creates a sphere of ice where the projectile hits. So what I'm going to do, apparently this guy got a little hit from it. I'm going to test it on this Marine Captain. So that's a pretty big ice ball. Completely encapsulates you. And it does some little like chip damage, I guess you can say. He's not even in it anymore. So it doesn't fully encapsulate them. It's only like 2 blocks thick or 2 blocks full. The inside's actually predominantly air. So it may not be that useful against real players if you did this in a server. So, I mean, it's an okay ability. Ice Saber. Now, this is also an ability that'll probably do even better against hockey. Before I do that, though, let me just go ahead and get a few more captains in here. Okay. 50 out of 50, 19 armor. So it only did 3. So if you got 19 armor, which what even is that? Like, what kind of armor gives 20 armor plates or 19 armor plates? Regardless, though, it still managed to do only 3 hearts. But he has a lot of defense, you could say. This guy got 20 hearts, 4 armor. Let's see. 1 hit got him down to 8. So, and everybody in this mod starts with 20 hearts. So 2 hits would kill a guy that has basically no armor, like very little armor. And then obviously it scales with hockey. And that's also without crits. So let me see. What is this guy? Let me just test it on this guy. Let me crit him. So if you crit, you do 18 with the ice sword, the ice saber. Let me see what that would look like on a captain. Okay, so it's not doing 18. It does 4 or 6 damage just because of how much armor they got. Still not bad, though. Ice Time. Hit the target to encase them in ice. So this is, you could just activate it. Nobody's even going to know when you have that ability active. And you just completely cover them in ice. And then you suffocate them, I guess. It only does 1 or 2 hearts, though. But that also could just be because of his armor. Regardless, though, I think that that's a pretty good ability because nobody's going to be able to tell when you're actually using it. Next, wait, no, that was Ice Time, right? Did I read Ice Block Pheasant or did I read Ice Time? If I read the wrong one, I apologize. But the next one is Ice Block Pheasant? Like, I don't know what that word exactly is. This guy has basically full health. Oh! Sent him in the air. So that's a pretty strong ability. He was at like 42 hearts. The impact got him down to 8. I don't know the quick math off the top of my head. And it killed him. Hold on now. I'm going to test this with a brand new Marine Captain real quick. It has a pretty crazy cooldown, but I think it might be a justified cooldown. Instantly, it went from 50 to 16. That's 26 health, I think. 26 health. And they still have 19 armor, keep in mind. And then it does chip damage. So with 19 armor, 50 hearts, this one ability gets them to 5. So I feel like if you could hit anybody with this, you have a chance of just almost killing them instantly, if not killing them instantly. And then you could just show up and just hit them with the Ice Saber. So that's a pretty strong ability in my opinion. That's probably the best ability so far. Ice Block Avalanche makes a big ice ball drop onto the spot the user is aiming at. So that's going to be interesting. I think what I'm going to do real quick, and it might sound a little messed up, but I need to go ahead and get some more people here at full HP to get a full accurate test of this ability. I'm going to add in about 5, is this 5? Yeah, 5 Marine Captains. And then next up, and now they're all just scattering. They're just all, okay. Let's see. I don't know how big it's going to be. Okay, it's going to come out of my hand, I guess. If I aim it like this... Oh! Wait, no, it came out of the sky. So it did not kill them, though. Let me see. Makes an ice ball drop onto the spot the user's aiming at? I figured it would have just still shot out of me, though. Like, not came out of the sky. What'd that get y'all to? Okay, this guy didn't get hit. This guy didn't get hit. He barely got hit. What about you? Only one person took all that damage? There ain't no way only one person took all that damage. Well, he took 30 hearts. So that's not even stronger than the 6 key ability that I have. Let me see. I want to try to get them all bundled up. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. And the cooldown's not even as strong. Or I don't even think it's as long as the other one. Oh, that killed him. Wait, didn't that guy have 50 hearts? I think he had 50 hearts and he died from it. So it's a little inconsistent. It must have not hit this guy on a direct head-on. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm going to try it one more time on a guy that has full HP. Yeah, it killed him. It killed a guy with 50. So if you're able to hit somebody head on, like for the most part with that ability, you'll instantly kill them. So this devil fruit, which it would make sense that it's pretty strong considering it is an admiral devil fruit. Or it was an admiral devil fruit. Also, I don't know if that little ice encapsulating effect only happens when you crit or not. But I would say that this is a pretty strong devil fruit for the most part. It has some abilities that could really devastate. Okay, so no, you don't have to crit to actually get that benefit here. The passive to showcase. I showed the passive in the Enel Devil Fruit, the Gorogoru no Mi Devil Fruit. Wait, are those fighting dudes? Oh, it's the Kung Fu Dugong. I was wondering what those things were. So this is where I am going to be testing out Ice Age. Technically my second ability. I need to find a good spot for it. I guess I could just do it right here. Alright. Ice Age. Hey, you kind of can't move for like a split second. So that is what Ice Age does. I think it killed at least maybe half. Completely froze everything. It actually turned all these blocks into blue ice. Which also means that since it's blue ice, it can't even melt. So, to be honest, I think that this is actually pretty OP. Not even just because of the radius, but also because it does so much damage. Just generally speaking, I think it does an okay amount of damage. Or it might just do like a very little bit, because a lot of people are actually alive still. They only took 5 hearts. So, it does probably just a little bit of damage. But at least you have like a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a controlling ability, I guess. And one thing I want to try real quick, because again, I like to test out versatility. I'm going to go do this at my base. So I will see you in a moment when I explain what I'm thinking of. Okay, I am back. And I'm going to be testing this in the Nether. As we can tell, I mean, first off, we got an awful spawn. Also, Ember Gel Block? What even is this? Horrible spawn. What is this? Blue Netherrack. Yeah, so I just have a mod pack, so I really don't know what's in here, but I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Blue Netherrack's actually nice to look at. So I don't like normal Netherrack. Quartzite Sand? Anyways, I don't know what this spawn is here. I'm just like in an underground mine or something, like minery. I don't know what this is. But what I can do actually is I can go ahead and test doing this against some fire. Obviously, you get damaged by it. Okay, hold on. Before I do that, let me just break this here. Let's do something like that, maybe. Do a lava test. So, of course, you are not immune to lava. It may seem like I'm doing obvious dumb stuff, but I'm just testing. So now what I want to do is I want to see what happens if I use Ice Age right here in the Nether. It might not be a good idea to do it right here in front of the Nether portal. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but let me just go ahead and maybe cover it up. Because what happens if you are in the Nether and you have this devil fruit and you're in survival mode? I think it's important to test if you could actually protect yourself against lava. Because if you're still wanting to beat the game, you still have to come into the Nether. So that's why I'm here to test this. Yep, I can't move. Cannot move for a second. Okay, it doesn't affect Nether portals. It does turn the obsidian to blue ice, though. So you, in fact, can turn lava. Oh my goodness, it went all the way over here, too. Holy crap! The range on this thing. So it can turn lava into ice completely, but not fire. I still think that that's a good thing, because then you could just avoid lava altogether. You could even just... What floor level am I on? 87. You could just turn lava lakes completely into ice and then just cruise over. I think that that's actually pretty useful. Next up, though, and that is going to be another test. Oh! Okay. So as you can see, I have 2 bodies of water. Because, obviously, taking a devil fruit is going to grant you a weakness. Now, what I do notice when I was making this is that the Frostwalker ability right here, I don't think that it was a passive like this. I think it might have been an ability, like you had to activate, but now it's just a passive. And I do think that that's useful as a passive because, as you can see, it just turns all ice. All ice? What? It turns all water that you walk on into ice. And shift clicking gets rid of it. I'm going to go into survival mode. Once you get close, you instantly start turning into ice. And then you can just gloss right over. So you never have a threat to water. You don't have a threat, but then it also disintegrates. So I'm going to walk away real quick. Oh, I still have this thing on from like the last thing that I did. What the heck is wrong with me? So you could just walk and run on water and you got no major threat. But I don't necessarily think that that's necessarily a good thing. I don't know why I said necessary twice, but you get the idea. Now you can shift and you can just cancel it, but you also can't fall into it. Now if you jump, you can't swim. I literally am hitting spacebar and I cannot swim. So that makes sense. So let me go ahead and get out of that. And then you have massive cooldowns. Well, you just have like your normal ability cooldowns. So if you go into a water source that is at least 2 blocks deep, you will basically not be able to swim. But if it's 1 block deep, as long as you don't have this chili fruit, you're perfectly fine. You can get in a 1 block hole of water and be perfectly fine. It will not affect your devil fruit. So the reason why I say that it may be a little bit of a bad thing when it comes to this passive is because you can only turn it off by shifting, which is kind of weird. If you're like shifting down from flying, it does not actually cancel it because you're not technically shifting, you're flying downwards. So another test that I want to do is I want to be able to test all forms of survivability. If you're falling above some lava or you're going to touch some lava, you may be able to avoid that. Like there may be some ways that you can avoid that. For example, you could maybe hit Ice Age. Like, let me test it right here. You can maybe fall down. Oh, I'm gonna hit some lava. And then you could hit Ice Age. And then that completely gets rid of the lava. It does not work on fire, though. But it does work on lava. Now, here's the issue. If you're falling high in the sky and you do that, will you still die on impact? Because in this game, if you die, you completely lose your devil fruit. Your devil fruit's gone. Gonzo. Now, I'm pretty sure these captains don't got any hockey, though. I guess I'm about to find out. Maybe they do in this version. Can y'all hit me? No, they cannot. Oh! Oh, they hit each other. I thought they hit me. That actually gave me a heart attack. If you see on my character, I have little ice particles because they're hitting me. That guy has... These guys got 2 sword style. I am taking literally no damage. So even Marine Captain NPCs have no hockey. So that's a good thing when it comes to Logias, if you're doing like a single player. I don't know if there's anything in the game that actually has hockey that is an NPC. But again, if you're falling, there's a good chance you're probably just going to die. You know what? Let me go over to this lava pool real quick. I'm going to go all the way up in the air. And hopefully I can activate the ability in time. I'm kind of nervous. You don't take fall damage. I didn't take any fall damage, but I can't move. Okay, you actually can negate fall damage. This devil fruit lets you negate fall damage. And I don't... My character right now has no hockey. I barely have Doriki, which begins to unlock hockey abilities. You can negate fall damage. Wait, will it work on this source of water with the Frostwalker passive? Can you take fall damage on ice in general? Let's see. No, you can't. You actually take no fall damage. You will take no fall damage if you land on water and it turns to ice. That's actually a really good devil fruit. That is OP. I'm glad I tested that. Okay, so if you time it correctly, you could just turn lava into ice with your Ice Age ability, and then you'll be fine. You may be even able to like throw an ice ball maybe, and then it creates ice, and then you can just land on that. If you land on water, you'll just turn it into ice, and then you won't take no damage. The only major thing though, which also if you were gonna land on the ground, you could turn that into ice too, and you'll be fine. You're pretty much immune to fall damage. Okay, I think that so far out of the other devil fruit that I tested, the Gura no Mi, this is actually even better, which is, in my opinion, obvious. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I thank anybody that watches this video. If you're interested to watch more, even though I do yap. But yeah, if you enjoy that, then feel free to subscribe, like, leave a comment. And I'm going to be making more of these devil fruit mod reviews on Mine No Mi. Peace.